Hello, good people. What's poppin'? Ted here. Just straight before we get into the interview, I just wanted to apologize real quick because listening to the interview back, I noticed there was some noises going out of my microphone, some popping sounds, which don't normally occur. I tried my best to make it a little bit less annoying, and I think I did that, but you can still hear it a little bit in the background, for which I apologize. And that's not going to happen in future videos and in future interviews, but unfortunately, it is what it is, and I didn't really want to go. I didn't really want to let this entire interview go to waste because it worked out quite well. So yeah, sorry for that again. Thankfully, you're going to be able to hear Anarkez quite well because his microphone was really good. And yeah, enjoy the interview. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the TED Talk. Obviously, I'm Ted. I'm going to be taking you through this one. And welcome back to the first interview in the series. As you can see to my right, there's a lovely man with a big beard and some quick reactions with the AWP anarkez. Hello, my friend. How are you doing?
Hello guys, how are you? How are you, Ted?
I'm great. I'm great. You know, there's been a lot surrounding you in the past couple months. Of course, we're gonna get to that. So, yeah, how are you doing on this lovely Sunday? You know, RMR is going, a lot of CS happening. You managed to catch some of the action?
Of course, I mean, I'm watching every day CS. I'm learning every day, like to watch one of the best teams playing. So I'm Gucci.
Yeah, that's great. So, you know, when I was thinking about how I want this conversation to start, I was actually quite I was undecisive about it because there's so much to speak about. But I guess we can just start with where you are right now with your career, because this is a really interesting thing now. Obviously, for a lot of the people that don't know, right now you're trialing on Entropiq. So I want you to tell us a little bit more about that. You know, what happened with Finest, because you know, you aren't really a person that gives a lot of interviews. You've given I think only 2 long interviews in your life, and they were with Heku and Scriv, and the last one was 6 months ago. And then you said that Finest was like a big family for you, but things didn't really work out now. So take us through what happened there.
I will start from the pretty much from the start. Like I mean, we had the player break, and in the player break, I had some offers. Not big one, you know, but
Mm.
for example, I know about Entropiq, like they gonna make changes. And they offered me to play, and it was when I was in finest, and I think it was a pretty big opportunity. We played with the RMR with finest. I think like we did a lot of mistakes. Like people wasn't committed as I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just I wanted to see people working harder than what I saw, you know. And it wasn't working out, and I thought like maybe we should like change something. Maybe I should like leave the team or whatever. Or like they also like people didn't want to play with me kind of in the team because we had some issues inside. So I felt like pretty much an outsider sometimes in the team. But I also wanted to see other opportunities in my career. So I think it was like kind of like that. Like Entropiq offered me to play, and I think it was a pretty big opportunity to replace Elian. And yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to go for that opportunity.
Yeah, and so far it looks like you're doing a good job. Now, a lot of people were actually interested, including myself, when I found out that you actually speak fluent Russian. And you know, you've actually participated in previous projects where you've spoken in Russian, but we're gonna get to that a little bit later. How are you dealing with that? And tell us a little bit more about how you actually managed to get your Russian to a fluent level. Because from what I saw, I think your parents are Russian, right?
Yeah, my parents are Russian. I mean, I'm talking only in home, like Russian, you know. But
Mm.
like when I was in Israel, for example, outside or whatever, my friends, it's not like fully Russian, you know. I have some friends Russian, but not like it's usually like Israelis guys, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fluent on Russian because I'm talking at home usually, but like I know Russian like pretty good, so it's not affecting.
Yeah, speaking about that, obviously, because you've had an interesting life and an interesting childhood. I want you to start us from the very beginning of like, how did you get into video games? What was the first video game that you played? Obviously, later on you started with CS at some point, but how did your journey in video games and esports begin?
Oh man,
It's
I
a
think.
long time. Don't do it like that, because we're pretty much the same age. And whenever you start thinking like that, I'm like, oh, I'm old.
No, it's actually insane, actually, no joke. But yeah, I mean, I think I was like 8 years old or something like that, and my uncle was playing like I think 1.5 or something like this.
Yeah.
And I was sitting like near him, and I was like watching. Whoa, like man, they're shooting. Like I don't know, it's pretty cool, you know. And I wanted to try it out. My father bought me a PC in home, and I started to download all of these things. My uncle come to my home, is that like put everything, and I just started to play. I don't know, like really for fun. And then I started to play Israeli LANs and stuff like this. Slowly, I grow up, and like people called me a cheater in 1.6. I don't know.
Mm.
So it was pretty interesting. And then I don't know, I saw some games like in CS:GO, like professional games, and I saw like Fireberg, Forest, all of these guys like playing like and getting money or whatever. And I thought to myself like maybe I can like get to this level. I have no idea. Like I have to try something, and I don't know. It just started to grow up like pretty fast actually. Like I have no idea how. Like right now I'm soon 23, yeah,
Mm.
but it's like 6 years just gone like like insane. I don't know. It's fucking insane actually.
Yeah, you know what they say, time flies when you're doing something that you love. But
It's insane.
I'm actually curious on was there a breaking point, like a moment in your life when you just clicked? Because obviously in the beginning you started playing for fun, right? But
Yeah.
was there a moment when it just clicked for you and you were like, I actually want to make a living out of this, and I am good enough to make a living out of this? And what was your parents' reaction to this? I'm really curious because everyone has like their crazy stories about how you have to explain to your parents that you're actually gonna work playing video games.
Yeah, I mean, at 14 years old, my father died from cancer, and
I'm really sorry to
let's
hear that.
say, yeah. So basically, when that happened,
Mm.
Counter Strike was kind of like my how to say hiding, like kind of I don't know how to say.
Yeah, way to
Yeah,
escape reality in a way.
yeah, kind of like this, and I just started to play a lot. And when I qualified for the first minor with the Israeli guys, if I'm not mistaken, it was in London.
Mm.
There I understood like, okay, like I can make something from it, you know, because if you qualify for a minor, it's like something big for me at least. Like it's first time, you know. So I thought to myself like, okay, if I can make a showing like in that minor, like I can make something for my name, and it was pretty big for me.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think that was the breaking point for me, that I understood like, okay, like this is the time to put everything on it, and just to show myself like, okay, I'm in for this level, you know. I really want to
Mm-hmm.
go there. So yeah.
Yeah, and has there been anything else that have you thought about what you would have been doing if it wasn't for CS?
Actually no idea. I have nothing.
You
Really
know,
nothing.
that's great. I mean, tunnel vision, look at the goal, achieve it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
absolutely great. And at one point, I actually want to know a little bit more about your experience with Israeli teams, right? Because your first actually official, well, I'm not sure if we can call it a team. It later on went out to be a team, but your first official team that was called Mix in 2019. You were 19 at the time, I believe.
Yeah.
You played with people like Synopsy, like Flatro, like Tutson, like Regon. It's a mix that has nothing to do with your own region. So, was there any like Israeli projects that you participated in prior to that team, and why did you decide to try with an international roster first?
I think with Israeli players it was really hard to connect. I mean, for me, I felt like really weird playing with them. Like I had other like not let's not talk about Sphinx Flames because I never played with them like
Yeah.
in the team. But the other players in team, they were like acting weird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't professional, and I didn't kind of like it, you know. Like I wanted something like people that working hard for it, and I felt not good playing with them.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself like, okay, maybe like let's try something different. I started to play FPLC for a little bit when I was invited from the minor, and Synopsy called me to play like this. I don't remember. We qualified for something like big, like fall something or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like suddenly everything happened. Like we won like big teams. We played against big teams and stuff like this. Like I never expected it, and I don't know. Like it's just different. Like the mentality and everything. Like back in the days, of course,
Mm-hmm.
it was just different mentality from the Israelis and to like Europeans. It's just I don't know, like big difference for me, and I thought like I should try it. I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you've actually had your fair share of experience, playing with a lot of like big names in terms of like people with a lot of experience. Obviously, your first team was, I couldn't really say that there was an experienced guy at the time in that team, but then you've moved on to play with, people like Percy and SMF who were really big in the Danish scene back in the day. And then you moved into HellRaisers, which was I think the HellRaisers period was maybe like right after Team Secret was maybe one of the breaking points in your career where a lot of people actually discovered you as an AWPer. You played with Problem, with J-Line, with Kalinka, with Flary, all of those guys, and I believe that was your first like Russian-speaking team as well.
Yeah.
How was it
I mean,
playing with
second.
people with that? How was it with people playing with that experience and you yourself like feeling like you're surrounded by so much experience?
It's actually insane. I will tell you, like in secret, we didn't put much hours. Like, I mean, back in the days in secret, I thought like we're putting a lot of hours, you know.
Yeah.
But then I come to HellRaisers and they like, for example, they have like this period 11, like the 6 practices or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then like after you finish, you work like for more 2 or 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was like pretty insane, like to sit like this for 12 hours or whatever, and it's just like it's again, it's different mentality. Like I'm learning a lot of like while joining teams, and it's fucking insane actually, like no joke. But yeah, like playing with them, it's like big opportunity for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, sadly, it didn't work out because of the contract. But yeah, life goes on. I can say.
Yeah, I guess it's always been interesting for me, by the way, because you've played with so many, like you've even played, we forgot to mention that, with Happy for some time on Secret. You've played with so many like great minds of the game, but you yourself have had your tendencies of thinking about being an IGL, right?
Yeah, I had it. I had it as well in finest on the start actually,
Mm.
but then we found like other IGL, so I didn't want to do it because I wanted to focus more on killing. Let's say like.
Yeah, speaking about finance, by the way, because this is, that's been a big part of your career and everything. You had 2 runs with finance. Obviously, the first one was a mainly Israeli team, to be fair, which was kind of sick. You played with Mesta, you played with Shushan, who are people all of us know. Obviously, Basso fades, and the second one was a completely different roster. But speaking about finance, like as an organization, was that the turning point in your career? And you actually making a name for yourself in an organization that you really feel comfortable in, because you said like in HellRaisers you felt great being surrounded by all those experienced guys, but you said that you didn't really like, things didn't click, and it was I got the same energy from the previous teams. Was Finest actually the first team that you could call your home? Because we know that this makes a massive difference for a player.
Actually, I can call it the home. I mean, we had a lot of changes though, but I can say from the start, like the CEO called me to play some games at the start, and like I said to myself, okay, like why not? Like let's play, let's show myself again, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
and just let's play. And then he offered me to build a team like from zero, and this was a big opportunity for me because you're building a new team. It's all yours. Let's say like this. You bring the players you want. You bring everything you want. That's what he said to me. So basically, I just brought the players I want, the players I did, and actually on the first team that we won like advance or something, and we
Mm-hmm.
got into ESL Challenger. So it was pretty big, but like to call finance like was everything for me. Like they helped me with everything. Let's say it like this. Like if I needed help in my home, they helped me. If I needed help in I don't know, like it's just an Israeli-based organization which helped me with everything. And yeah, I think it was a big jump for me in my career. Like I put numbers as well, which is like pretty good for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Like to say it's like my family home. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie about it. The first time I actually was quite impressed by a performance of yours was in the first like finest iteration that you participated in a game, in there. But I'd say moving on to the second iteration, I feel like this was, where you actually found some success in terms of tournaments, and you guys were a pretty. I'd say you were a powerhouse in the tier 2 space for some time. Obviously, you did win the Pinnacle Cup once. You played on the LAN event. You did a good job there, considering you played some pretty tough opponents. What was the atmosphere in the team like? Because I think a lot of people didn't really see you going out of the roster coming, and I didn't see it coming as well, because I was thinking you're going to be one of those rosters that are going to be able to carry the momentum after the break.
Actually, we had a lot of problems. People that even don't understand which problems we had. I can say that one player wanted to leave like 2 times the team, and he didn't do it because we had results. Okay, we played the Pinnacle actually without knowing if we making change rosters. I can say it like this. Like,
Okay.
so it's pretty big, because we played like
Yeah.
we don't give a shit about anyone, and we just played our game. Like basically no tactics. I mean, we had tactics, but like we played like we don't care anymore, And I think that's what won us the Pinnacle. Like, and then suddenly we won the Pinnacle and we got invited to the LAN, so we didn't make changes. And
Yeah.
then like I don't know, we had a lot of problems, like individual and also outside of the team. I will not say name, of course. I don't want
Yeah.
to put
Yeah,
anyone
no
in bad
no drama
position.
here, no drama.
Yeah. So like we did really good results, but behind the scene it was big problems. Like I can say it like that.
Yeah. And I'm actually curious to hear your opinion on that one, because I feel like that's been the case for so many teams in the tier 2 space, even in tier 1. Like obviously we've had like the same situation I'm thinking about is like you think of a Skate as well, that have been going through so many changes, and when they were at the top of the tier 2, they go out in interviews and they're like, well, the atmosphere in the team isn't great. But how does that actually happen? I mean, when people are not good in the like outside of the server, things shouldn't be great in the server either. But somehow, like you with Finest had good results, Skate had good results. There's been other teams that 100% obviously, as you said, not leaking any names and stuff like that. But there's been a lot of teams that actually have a lot of internal issues, but still manage to perform somehow.
I have no idea how it's happening. I think people just kind of at some point don't give a shit about everything. I think people a lot of times in the team like looking for problems, like
Mm,
they're looking for like big problems in the team, and it's not good. Like you need to hard work and just to play. That's it. You don't need anything else. Like just come to work actually, and
yeah,
like you don't have to like you need to be family, of course, like friends with everyone. But at the end, it's a work. So just come, put your work, put your everything. Like your role is to be IGL, be IGL. Like put watch demos, hard work on this part. Your
yeah,
role is to be sniper, so be sniper. Like work on fleeks or whatever. So like everyone just need to put the work. I don't know. Like a lot of people just putting a lot of drama in the team. Like okay, he's not talking right now. Okay, he's making a lot of problems while not throwing flashbangs or whatever. Like people just looking a lot of problems on this, and it's like for me it's really bad. Just people need to do their work, and that's it.
yeah. I get your idea. Just focus on making yourself a better player and a better teammate, and hope that things are gonna work out. Seems like there's a lot of logic under or behind your words. And I like speaking about that. Do you think that right now, obviously you're still trialing for Entropiq, right? But do you think that maybe you found the right place for yourself? Because you've played with some of the players on Entropiq, or one of the again, I'm gonna repeat myself, but those guys have a lot of experience, right? I mean, you're playing with NickelBack. He's been around for well, since the creation of CSGO. Mirror, obviously, he's a guy that's played majors as well. He started back in the days with people like, in Vegas Squadron and stuff like that. Even the coach, you're playing in a team that's just on another level in terms of where those guys have been, and their mentality as well, because we know the CAS work mentality is great. So do you feel like right now you're at the right place?
Actually, it's really big for me to play for Entropiq right now, even if I'm trialing only.
Mm,
But I mean, it's a big experience for me. Like from what I played, we didn't play practice because of personal issues like they have right now. Of course,
mm-hmm.
I will not leak, but yeah, like we didn't play practice. But from the officials that I played with them, like it feels such a big like different world for me because in their team, I know everything what I do. They
Mm-hmm.
show me a little bit of tactics. They show me a little bit like their game plan, and I feel like exactly what I need to do, exactly what like that's a job for an opera. They
Yeah.
just bring it to me, and I just need to complete it. That's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
the only thing.
Yeah.
In finest, it was a little bit different. In finest, I felt like I need to do everything for myself. Like for example, I needed to ask, I don't know, like let's do this play and this play. Like in Entropiq, it's a little bit different. They have their plays, and of course, I have my plays. But at the end, everyone know how to complete it.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit different, like big difference between finest and Entropiq. But in Entropiq, I feel like really good, like actually individual, no joke.
Yeah, I mean it shows in the server. I feel like obviously that will have to do a lot with the IGL, right? How would you compare NickelBack to previous IGLs you've worked with?
I think it's the best one actually.
You think so?
It's putting a lot of work, like the analyst as well
You
and
know,
coach.
you've played with Happy, so that's a big statement.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
it's a big one. So, like for me, it's working really hard. They have a lot of like man on one map. They showed me like 15 tactics,
Yeah.
and with finest we had 15 tactics in 6 months or whatever. So we can say it like this. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty insane.
Yeah, so is the work ethic, right? So I guess like when you have so much when you have so much things to learn, it could be well, it's motivating for you to see that the team is putting in so much effort, but it could be hard for an oper, right? Because in the end of the day, you need to like there's different kinds of opers, and this is something I actually wanted to ask you about because right now there's like I'd say two pretty defined ways of being an oper, right? You have one which is like the Jame and Shiro approach where you're a little bit more supportive, you're left in the clutch, you save a lot of the times, and then there's the hyper aggressive one where you're trying to open the game for your guys and being a little bit more aggro, opening up space and getting entries and stuff like that. Which one do you think is more efficient, and which one do you support a little bit more?
I'll tell you what. I played both kind of. I
Mm-hmm.
started to learn myself like a little bit more passive one because that's the kind of meta. I think like to be more passive to support your teammates and then to win rounds. Actually, that's what like I think it's better right now at least. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the days, I was really aggressive. Like everyone called me like the overpick guy and stuff like this. And
Yeah.
like I'm like okay with it, because like in tier 2 level, like it's pretty easy to kill them, like with overpick or whatever. But I think on tier 1 it's not gonna work. So that's why I'm changing my style of playing. I talked with Flamesy a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and it told me how they're working in the team, like how it was with Mantu and how it was with Dexter right now,
Mm-hmm.
actually. And we talked a lot about it. It like helped me a lot with this part. So I actually support both sides. So I don't know, like it just depends on the situation, I think, in the game. So
Yeah.
sometimes you need to power up your aggressive style, and sometimes you just need to power up and your defensive style, and you need to do it by yourself. No one gonna help you on that part. So it's just on you, kind of.
Yeah, I guess that gives the I mean that's the logical answer, if you can get the best out of both worlds, that would be great. But
Yeah,
that's why I thought it was going to be interesting to actually speak about you with you about it because I still remember you like from the good old days when you were that guy that was just famous about the flicks. Just
yeah,
being running around like crazy, hitting shots that you shouldn't be hitting. But if you don't hit the shot, people are gonna be like, "What are you doing in that scenario? Like,
yeah.
what is this guy doing with the AWP?" But you have I'd say by the way that you've played, I think you have matured in a way in the way that you're supporting your teammates, which is it's actually great to see because the mechanical skill is apparently still there. But does that make you feel like does it slow down your confidence sometimes in your ability? Because I know for a fact I had a talk with, I think it was like a year and a half ago with Cirque, but it was in Bulgarian, and he was like, he let me know because he used to be that hyper aggressive player back in the days, and he told me, yeah, now I need to throw a lot more flashes. They're using me in a way more defensive way, and I just don't feel comfortable with that because I want to be able to shoot people. Is that a factor with you? Do you have it like a problem?
Actually, no. Like I like to support and win rounds actually in the end because
Mm.
if my teammates I throw good flashes for them and they get the entries and I left in the clutch or whatever, like 2v3 or 4 whatever, like I like to be in the spot because like then you can able to shoot.
Yeah.
For example, on Mirage, if for example you put flashes for your teammates and they enter the side or planted the bomb, I'm staying with one guy like 2 versus 3. Like this is the perfect scenario for me because I can shoot like whenever I want, like from which position I want. So for me, it's not an issue actually. Like I can throw any nades and just to hold them, and that's kind of the role of a sniper. I think, like at least as well in real life. I don't know. I was in army, of course, but I wasn't a sniper. Yeah.
Mm.
But for example, in real life, like a sniper just standing behind, is watching his teammates pushing or whatever, and like that's the role kind of. So I don't know. So maybe it's like this. I have no idea.
Yeah, it could be, it makes a lot of sense. And as you said, you're a guy that's quite adaptive, so I actually wanted to ask you a little bit about, in depth about how the veto is gonna affect you. But then it should be a good transition for you, right? Because obviously you have the Finest and Entropiq actually play quite similar maps. Obviously you had the Mirage, the Dust 2, the Vertigo were all in there, so I guess it's a bit easier for you to transition, right?
It is, but only Nuke. Nuke we didn't play in finest, and in
Yeah.
Entropiq we played. So it was really rough for me. Like I played with Entropiq, I think, like last week Nuke, and it was really rough to actually adapt. Like no joke, and I felt like useless kind of. But yeah, like it's just really rough to not play Nuke for 2 years, and suddenly you come and you play, and like not the same crosser placement and stuff like this. It's just very rough actually. But yeah, actually the same maps except like Nuke, and yeah, like I mean it's pretty good.
Mm. Okay, I wanted to, obviously, the Israeli scene has been quite big, and I want us to end on a strong note. Well, the interview part because we have something for the end of it. I want to get your thoughts on the Israeli scene because obviously there's been obviously in 2022, 2021 especially, the Israeli scene has been going through some massive revelations. I mean, there's been so much talent going out of the scene. Obviously you have people like Spinks, you have people like Exertion Flames, Shushan, Moore, Mestown, Nerds. The list just goes on, right? There's so many good individual players, but why can't we see a good like Israeli team?
I think it's pretty rough. Yeah, I will tell you why. Because first of all, like IGL part, it's okay. Like I can feel it, or maybe Nares can feel it. But like back in the days, we just kind of didn't couldn't play together. Like I know it's kind of with the UK scene. I heard it one time actually.
Mm-hmm.
We just can't play together because it's just a mess, kind of. But I think right now with the players right now, because they're more professional,
Yeah.
like Session, Flamesy, Spinks, and Nerds, of course. I don't know, like maybe other players will come up. Every good, of course. Uh, it's just maybe this one can work, but it's gonna happen only in like late years, like 5 years, 6 years, maybe because like right now, Flamesy, Spinks, Session, and Nerds, like,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in a different position right now, and I really want to get to their level actually because they jumped pretty big. It's
Yeah.
it's actually insane they jumped like this, and I am still kind of struggling, let's say like this.
Mm.
But yeah, like for me, I think I can play on this level. I don't know. I just need a chance, kind of. But Entropiq right now, if I get into the team, it's like a pretty big chance for me. So.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say, I wouldn't say you're struggling. I mean, yeah, obviously things didn't work out with finance, but right now you find yourself surrounded by really good players, and I feel like Entropiq is a good chance. I mean, I'd say if I had to be objective, I'd say there's a biggest chance of Entropiq going into tier 1 events than finest, to be fair.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess you're on the right path to success. But speaking about the right path to success, uh, there's the RMRs happening right now, and there's a lot of different storylines, a lot of things happening. But I wanted to actually get your opinion on one of the RMRs specifically, because I had the chance to do an European tier list a couple days ago with a couple other casters, friends of mine, colleagues, whatever you want to call it. But we haven't really spoken about the NA RMR. So, I was thinking, I can't have you in here without setting you up to actually trash talk someone. So we're gonna do a quick tier list of the NA RMR. Obviously the games are going right now, but that's the thing. Like today is day 1, the day that we're filming this. So you don't really get too big of a hint. I feel like the only hint that you have is that Fury and Imperial won their first 2 games. This is something we know for sure. But this is all. Like, those are the only 2 games that have been played out. So, I want you to take us through this one and let us know what you think is going to happen.
I want to start with it that I don't follow the NA scene. Like, really, I don't follow it. Like, no, I know only maybe Imperial and Fury and maybe 0 Nation. The rest, like, I don't know. Like, maybe EG as well. I don't know. Like, I can try, I guess.
Okay, I mean, you should. I mean, we have, like, I've made it a little bit easier for you. There is 2 spots for legends. So the top 2 teams, then you have 3 teams that are gonna qualify as challengers, and then you have 2 teams that are gonna qualify as contenders. So you have 6 teams in total. Then you have teams that, you know, maybe you don't have information on, or you don't see a world where, or maybe, let's put it that way, teams that know that they're not gonna make it through, but job's done, just qualifying for the RMR. And then you have the NACS low, where everyone else gets in, you know, the flamed guys.
Okay. Should I start with Legend?
I mean, you can start however you want.
I will start with Legend, actually.
Okay.
I think Fura and let's say Liquid, I think they will qualify for Legend. Like,
Okay.
these are the 2 teams I think that I know in any scene. So I think they have the biggest chances in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Liquid just played an EPL final and they look quite
final,
solid.
yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, there should be like a pretty big favorite in the NA scene at least. And then we have Challenger. This one I need to think at least. I think his EG players is good. I have no idea who is playing in EG.
Oh, they're playing with Nealon and Hex. You were really joking when you said that you weren't following the NA scene, were you?
Yeah, I'm not joking, actually. I'm not joking. I didn't follow it at all. So now I understand that Nealon isn't there. Okay.
Yeah. Nealon's in there. Hex is in there. Hex used to play on for one of their, you know, they have 3 teams. He used to play for one of the remaining teams.
Yeah.
And he got promoted.
I know only. I think I know Pain a little bit. I see the logo here, right? It's this Pain.
They just won an ESL Challenger event in Melbourne 1 month ago.
Yeah. So I guess it's Entropiq, by the way. Yeah, or Entropiq was in this tournament, but yeah. I think on challenges I will put Pain, 0 Nation, and EG. I think actually, I think they will qualify, I guess.
Okay. An EG. Okay, so we're having Imperial. Okay, so now it gets interesting, right? Because you still have complexity. You have Imperial, you have MIBR. You know, Heniel's on MIBR. They're not looking bad. And you still have 9Z.
Wow, man.
And no Plano, and you know KNG is an no Plano as well. So
but KNG, I think it was like he was back in the days good player, no? But they fell off a little bit, I feel like. And okay, maybe 9Z. Who is playing 9Z? Okay, I don't remember. But yeah, complexity. Sometimes they play good, sometimes they play bad. Like right now with Alzak, actually they're playing pretty good. So I think I'll put the complexity on contenders. I think like they will not go further, in my opinion. Like they have chance, but like I don't know. I think 0 Nation, EG, and Pain like kind of winning this battle, in my opinion. And another team, Imperial or Meber. Wow, man, it's actually insane. I will put Imperial. I think they have a lot of experience. I think, and I think that they might put the thing for them for contenders.
Yeah, Coach FNX, you know.
Yeah, so
might work out for them.
Yeah, but I don't think they will go like to Challenger or something like this. It's like wait, if they qualify for the Rio, like they play against Europe, right? Or I'm mistaken?
Yeah. If they qualify for the contender stage, it's just like teams from every single region. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Okay, it's good. And then like NACS low.
NACS low. Yeah, I must tell you, the number is 17 because obviously they have no logo in here. It's a team called Nouns, which is an NA team. I don't think there's any, like, the only thing I can tell you about them, because you're not gonna know the players, is that Semphis is coaching them. Okay. That's the only thing I can tell you about those guys. This is the extent that you're gonna know. In terms of 9Z, like giving you some info on it, this is a South American mix. You know, we have like Argentinian, like Uruguayan,
I know
Brazilian players on there.
I know the Try game played them, right? From
Try used to play for them. They still have like people like Digit T is a pretty good player playing on there. I'm not sure if you know him. You know, they have a couple, like,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
South American scene has been popping off, to be fair. They have a lot of, like,
yeah.
young, good
Yeah.
players.
I just think it's like compared to these things that I listed like above, it's just different level in my opinion. Of course, they
Yeah.
can surprise, yeah, but I don't know. It's rough to predict it actually. I have no idea. But I know ATK, my friend, is there like spray hard,
Yeah.
and but I think like they're a good team, of course, yeah. But
Okay, so do we meme them, or we say job's done and they're gonna be happy with being at the RMR?
I think job's done. Like I don't want
Okay.
to, I don't
Okay.
want spray hard to feel bad or something like this. Meeper, I think as well, job's done. I
Mm.
think as well 9Z, but the rest I have no idea who are the teams actually. So I
Okay,
guess it's
so you think they're just happy to be there? You think they're just happy to be
yeah.
there? No, they're not gonna be fairly disappointed with not making it through.
I mean, I think they will like be with some disappointed, you know. But
Mm.
I don't think like it's maybe Meeber is gonna feel a little bit disappointed actually. But I don't think they can beat like other teams above. But I don't know. It's really rough actually. Holy,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
it's
expect it.
rough when you get to the bottom two, and you actually need to put someone in NACS low. And you know, NACS
Yeah,
low is like a team that would be really disappointed of not making it through. You know, a team that
yeah,
went
yeah.
there to be a contender. So, yeah,
Mm.
I guess you
I
know,
know.
you
Maybe I should put NAC as low. No joke. I mean, they
okay,
will be disappointed as fuck actually.
yeah.
But the rest, I have no idea. So I guess I don't know.
Well,
Who's Infinity and this shark?
this is Isurus. This is Isurus.
I
Isurus
played
have.
against my team,
Yeah,
no?
yeah, yeah. You know, Mayern's in there. That used to play for SK
Ah,
at some point. Yeah.
wow, I'm not following it all. It's
Yeah.
insane.
And Infinity is another like South American roster, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a single player from that roster, so I'm not even gonna bother telling you the nicknames because you're not gonna know them either.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I've done South American events. I don't really know Infinity that much, so yeah.
Okay, I guess I don't know. Infinity job's done. Um, Cyrus. I don't remember how we played against them,
Hmm.
like if we won easily or not. But oh my god, I think I will put Oplana on NACS low.
Okay.
They might be disappointed. I mean, it's KG and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Um, but the rest, I think job's done. No joke. Like I don't
Mm.
know. Like I don't know how those teams take Counter Strike. You know, because if they take it seriously, I have no idea. Just you know, but if they
Yeah.
take it seriously, they will for sure be disappointed. But like
I'm pretty sure teams like Isurus and like Team One have like big expectations towards this tournament.
so,
I'd
yeah, I
say.
guess I just don't know these things, but I'd say like SRS and Team One, we can put it on NACS low, but the rest like probably like jobs done. Like
Yeah,
I have no
okay.
idea
You
what
know,
it is.
out of respect for the man, I'm really gonna like I'm gonna interact here a little bit. I'm gonna put Semphis and the boys at the first place and job's done. Because I think they're gonna be happier than everyone else that they're at the RMR right now.
Probably. I mean, I don't know them, so good luck,
Okay.
really.
Okay, so this is your tier list. Anything you want to change last second?
No, I think it's Gucci.
Okay, so we have Liquid and Furia, Legend Stage, Challengers, Pain, 00 Nation EG, Contenders, Complexity, and Imperio. And unfortunately for everybody else, they're going back to NA, but not to play the major, which is a little bit unlucky, but you know, we move.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
very, very rough actually.
that was fun. You know, that was really fun for me. I don't know about you, that was really fun for me.
Of course, it was fun. I mean, if I would follow a little bit, it would be different, really. If you would put me like to tell me to ready up or something like this to to watch
Oh,
some
no,
games,
no,
but
no.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
want that. I don't want you to be ready for something like that.
It's
Uh,
insane. Actually.
Well, yeah, thank you a lot for this conversation. I had a really good time. I hope you enjoyed your stay here as well on the TED Talk. You're actually my first guest from all the
Oh, really?
players.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you very
I've
much.
done. There's been just one podcast that I did with like Neokai, Retro, and Zerfer, and that was it. Like you're the first player that's in for an interview.
Thank you very much for having me. Actually.
Yeah, so maybe some final words that you want to give to everyone that's been supporting you throughout the
Thank you
years.
everyone for supporting me, guys. It's pretty much insane to see all of your messages, especially the Israeli scene who is supporting me every time. So thank you everyone for watching this podcast and of course supporting me.
Thank you again for being my guest. Thank you everybody for watching, and we're gonna see you really, really shortly.
See you.